Hi all, welcome back to more Normandy, the beginning of the end. Using the Alone in the Storm solo expansion, playing scenario 2 German counterattacks, my part 8. So this is Tuesday, when I should have a little bit of time, or a wee bit more relaxed time anyway, to try and play a bit more. I pondered again on shoving the game aside just for now and try to set something else up, but then I'd be starting from scratch with something else, whatever it was I decided. I've got my mind sort of set on Combat Commander for I keep talking about that, but just to maybe give it a try, or what I maybe should do is not record it, it's just fiddle about with it and see how it goes and see if it's worthy of maybe trying to play a game of it. Anyway, but I've got this, so I've decided that I'm going to stick with this for now. I just get the feeling it's not going to be long before I'm going to be frustrated again. Hopefully that's not the case. Right, well, I suppose things don't start so well because I spotted a mistake. Nobody else has picked up on this one, which I'm a little surprised about, but then, well, whatever. I'm going to fix it. Maybe I shouldn't really bother, but I'm not going to mention any in the video footage, and it's regarding this infantry A marker, the one that we rolled on and got the assault action. Initially, I forgot to roll, and we moved it up to here, right, with that as being its target, as this one's taking its place now. And then I realised, oh wait, now I need to roll because it could actually carry out the assault. Then we rolled a 4 and got the assault. Yeah, it is infantry A. We rolled a 4 and got assault. However, it was a 4 we rolled and I was looking at the wrong bit. This is a medium activity level marker. And when I rolled on the chart, I looked in this section here, but this is just for high activity level. And a 1 to 4 is assault. That's where we'd be looking. It's an intel marker. There was nothing in range, so it was out of spotting range. We rolled a 4 and got assault. And frustratingly, I was annoyed at that because I had to change everything. And if I just nudge myself along here to the medium activity level section, and here, again, it's an intel marker. Again, it's out of spotting range. We rolled a 4, and it would have been the advanced action after all. I also then rolled on the mortar section using this as well. But it rolled a 9, so it would have been advanced there, and you can see it would have been advanced there as well. So that one didn't matter. But yeah, I'm going to fix this because it's probably not too difficult to fix. Well, I'm going to have to now find a place for the mortar. So I'm going to take the mortar away because what's going to happen is this infantry A is going to come into this place. I'm just going to take this off just now. So that is going to have came here. And now we need the movement marker for that, which will go in there. Because it's wanting to move to there, that infantry A. That's exactly what it would have done. And we can put that back on top. Now for the mortar. So we're not going to have this situation where one was trying to carry out an assault action. But I'm definitely not going to change anything within the video or even make any comments, because I want anybody to watch that and tell me, did I get that right? Did I move that unit from there to there? Should it, it was going to come and it was trying to assault. We didn't know if this was its target or if it was just considered an objective marker. We were moving it closer. We weren't sure if it should have stayed there or should have maybe went into there. Because this was a 5 defensive value and this was a 4, but however this one was closer to the objective or the target, but it was nothing really clear in there. So I'm going to leave that, but that shouldn't have happened anyway. But I suppose I'm kind of glad it came up because I still don't know if I carried that out anything like right. It doesn't really look right that it would go from there to there, and that was it, trying to form an assault action. It just doesn't really Yeah, it doesn't really look it. So now what's going to happen with the mortar then? Because it should have came on doing an advance as well. So I now need to find. That's a assault order. Where's the advance one? Is that on the back? No, that's. I'm looking for the assault one. Yeah, I'll be on the back of this. That's right. So we've got the mortar to come on. And yeah, let's just change that. So that'll be that's backing up one, right? So that's a 4 at the moment, and then once the artillery that'll be the 5. So we've got that, and that. It won't be finished as of yet. So yeah, we should be able to quickishly find where this is going. So advance movement. Mate attack with MFF without moving, no. Mate performance assault, no. Select a target. So again, it's looking for the closest target where the AI force may attack with MFF, and it's got a 3, 4, 5, or a 2 if it cannot be attacked with MFF. And then because it's following advanced movement rules, we can look at the priorities, and the priorities are, the first priority is the highest divisor value if it breaks down to more. But however, the priority is closest. The closest hex where it may attack. Now, yeah, even reading that there just now. And here's the thing I was thinking, by the way. And I meant to mention this last night in the part 7. What if this game is just struggling from an English reader's point of view because of the translation between Spanish and English? Is it possible that this is what's causing major issues for me? I was just thinking back to watching the guy playing it that's in Spanish, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not able to follow it completely to see if he's doing everything that I would say, okay, that makes sense, and he seems pretty clear about what he's doing. I sometimes see him make a mistake and come back and fix it. It's difficult to follow when you're trying to read words, but I'm just wondering here if the wording, we've seen things already that are worded in a way that don't quite make sense to the English reader, and it's probably because of the translation. And I'm just actually thinking if some of these things, if they were written in Spanish to somebody reading it in Spanish, it would be a lot clearer than what it is for us. So it could just be a lot of that is what's happening, but, well, there's no way of really knowing that unless you can understand both languages, I suppose, and read both sets of rules out of both the Spanish rulebook and the English rulebook and say, well, yeah, that doesn't quite mean that, I don't know, there's no way of me probably finding that out, so... It's just, again, as I'm looking at that there just now, it says the closest hex with the AI, where the AI force may attack with the MFF. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure this is. When that says the closest hex where it can attack, to me that means the closest from where these are. Or so the closest from that hex, basically, because that's where they're starting. And it's wanting the closest. And we know that both these are the same distance away, these two infantry platoons. So these are the closest. So it wants to get to the closest hex to it that it can attack that with MFF. And it also, in particular, if it's looking at this guy, because he's not finished yet, that if it does move into position, this guy, it wants a 3, 4, 5 divisor, or a divisor of 2, and as long as it cannot be attacked with MFF. An MFF and a clear hex is 6, isn't it? Yes, 6. So basically, I can't plonk him here because he's got 18. Because there's only 2x, because that's 2x's away. He's got 18, and he can react with half of 18, which is 9. So that is not a hex for this to go, However, again, I'm struggling with this blockage hex site down the spine. So I'm looking at this hex here saying, is this a hex to go? And don't think it... Well, actually, that one. Is that one... Is that a possible... Yeah, see, I don't actually think that's touching... It's touching that hex side, but if he's sitting in there, that would be fine, actually. It's not really going down the spine there, is it? No, I don't... I mean, it's maybe one of the ones you just need to move that out the hex just to get complete accuracy. So I would say no, I would say that's not touching. Man, it might be touching the very corner of it as it comes out there, but it's not going down the spine of that. So that probably is a legitimate hex. And that would be 3 away, and it's a queer hex, but because it's 3 away, it then halves his FF again. So it halves it to 9, and then halves it again to 5. And that then means that that is a legitimate target hex for that to move to. However, if it boils down to any of them, it wants closest to here first. Sorry, closest to here first, and then, and it needs to comply with the not being able to be shot by MFF, and be able to fire at them with MFF as well. Remember, but remember they've got 21. They've got 21 fire factors. So if that's getting halved, they're getting 11. So it doesn't matter what this guy... I mean, this guy's he's in a building, isn't he? Yeah, so we need 10 to hit him, but we'll be firing with 11, so it's fine. It's more about to make sure that they can't fire back on us with FF. But this guy down here is finished, so it doesn't really matter where we end up here. But again, we still want the closest... I feel we want the closest hex to here. So... well, where is that going to be then? Because I wondered, see this swamp, does this give any defensive capabilities? Is that a swamp? No, it's a marsh. Yeah, see, that's a 3 defensive AP fire. Now, we know that wheeled vehicles can't go into it, but remember, wheeled vehicles can't cross blockage either. So, but infantry can move into it, and it costs them 2 movement points. So if we travel with us right down the road and we stop there, then when he acts again, this can be his target hex, and this is going to be a 3 defensive. So, but I still think it needs to be closest to here. So what is that? And there's, to be honest, another possibility, hex, because that's going to be a 3 as well, isn't it? That's Lightwoods, which is 3 as well. So how far are these away? Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Was that the same? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, these are about 10 away from, we're just the event marker 4 there. Because that's where we come on the map. These are about 10 away, and yeah, and this is still legitimately... Remember, this is blocking line of sight, this hex. Well... Right, hold on here. No, it is. Sorry, I'm starting to think of Combat Commander. I've been reading the rules for that. Right, we're okay. That whole hex is blocked, right? Combat Commander is one of these games where it considers the actual graphic of the whatever's in the hex, which I don't like that way of doing it. I really don't. I always think that why not just say that whole hex blocks everything? I mean, okay, maybe the game's been designed in that way to make that work better. So fair enough. But you know what? It is what it is, and that's how you go. So although this whole hex blocks line of sight, you can see that that goes right down. No, go that upside down. Yeah, it goes right down the spine, and this is not a blocking hex. So this can see this, and this can also see this. Because the marsh is not going to block line of sight, is it? I wouldn't have thought so. Where is it? Marsh. Blocks line of sight? No, it doesn't. So they two are possible targets. Now, but they're 10 away. Now, did we not look already and consider this one? Which is going to be closer, isn't it? This one... Actually, you know what? This one's a possible target now as well. The reason that it wasn't at the time for him is because this was not finished. and that would have been, I would have had an attack at 9. So actually that's a possible hex. That's a possible hex. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 away. But this is going to be closer, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 away. So I can see... I'm just going to use them. Thought I had some red cubes there, but I can see that being the possible. That's the closest up to now. And remember, that's what we want first. And then as long as it's safe, and remember, nothing else, that can't fire. That's not got line of sight on that, so that can't go firing on that. This is finished, so it's not got... And then if we were there as the Germans, although it's range 3, that would mean we would half the 21, rounding it up to 11, so we've got the 11 that we need, because this is a building too, isn't it? Well, dispersed building, so we need a 10 MFF for it. We would have 11 there. So what did I say, that was 8 away, wasn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so is there anything up here though? Remember, this one's already got a target to there. That's that one. It's going to move up. That is not in line of sight to there. That is, but like I said, that wouldn't be illegal because he would have MFF. I think I've said that one was all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 9 away. 6, 7, 8. That was 9 away. So I think that's where he wants to go. Now, I mean, well, again, how I'm meant to take all this into consideration or not, I don't know. Now I'm going to put that because that applies to these two. So are we able to get? I mean, we can't get there right away. So it could come down the road. It could stop here. It could go into here. If it stopped here, next turn it'd be 1 and then +1 for the bocage, and then another +1 for this bocage. That's 3, but how much is it? It's more than that to move into the river, isn't it? It's a +2 on top of the actual hex, because remember, if it ends in the river, it's got to consider it crossed that, and it's got to use the... So my take on that is, if he stops there, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to be 6 movement to move into there. Now, I think he can still double time though. I think he can double time as long as he's not leaving himself. We'll double check that one. If it moved down to here, but I don't know. I really don't know where I'm meant to do. I mean, the target is right. What we're doing here is we need an advanced movement. So that's a square, green square. So what we're doing is we're saying that this is our target. I can take that away actually, right? And then we're putting this advanced movement marker on this, right? So that's us done that. If we look back at the rules, we need to find, in fact, it's got it here on the chart. It needs to find the target. It needs to use the type of movement, wheeled or foot. Well, it's going to have to use wheeled. And it needs to find the destination hex, which is the target hex, or any hex en route to the target hex where the AI force may not suffer an attack with MFF. Right, so it doesn't tell you there about where the destination hex needs to be. Now, the next bit is route. It says the shortest one to the destination hex, depending on movement type, including as many hexes with block line of sight to player platoons as possible, avoiding as many hexes where player platoons may react with MFF as possible. See, why isn't it saying that get to a hex that from there it can reach that next turn? It's not really saying any of that, is it? Let me come back down, destination hex. The moving target hex is too far and cannot be reached during this activation. Select a hex along the way within movement range And with the highest divisor value from where the highest FF attack is possible, well, it's not. I mean, the movement target hex is here. This is where we're going. What is it? Several hexes are available. Choose a hex where the AI force cannot be attacked with MFF. And then it doesn't talk about its route here. Why not? Oh, it does. Routes before destination hex in the rulebook for some reason. Search for the shortest path towards the movement's target hex according to the selected movement type. Coding as many hexes with block. Right. Avoid the following hexes. Any hex with the AI force may suffer an attack. If this is not possible, the hexes on the path should have a terrain divisor of 3. It's not really talking about any of that. It's not really saying where you end up. I mean, it's saying the shortest possible. I'm just looking at that. It would cost me 6 movement points to go from there into there. Now, I could do that on foot if I'm allowed to use the double time. And if it was here then, if it was going in this hex, what would that be? Because that's in the river as well. However, that's crossing Bocage into Light Woods. But remember, if we're moving through that hex, we don't count the river, I don't think. So that would be Light Woods is 2. Bocage is 1. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6. It's still 6, isn't it? Because you don't count the river in that hex because I'm passing through it. However, I've got to count the river if I'm ending the hex. So that's 6 as well. So it doesn't really matter if I go here or here. Oh, hold on. What about here? Is that any better? Is this the same, is it? No, it's not the same. There's no Bocage there. That looks like a better hex then. Because that's going to be 1, 2. Remember, ignoring the river because we're moving on. So 1, 2, crossing the Bocage into the clear. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's only 5 moving into there. And the extra 2 is because we're ending the hex in the river. So there we go. There is our... is that destination hex? That's our target hex. That is our destination hex. Because we can't reach that this turn. Okay? Right, so I think that's what's going to happen. So that's going to move to there. And remember, it had 4, so it was like 1, 2, 3, 4 hexes to there. Counting half a movement point per hex. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that's 1, that's 6. So it's going to spend 6 movement points to get to there. And that's it, done. I believe. And then it can comfortably reach its target next turn on foot without using double time. I mean, that seems logical to look at it that way, doesn't it? As long as I'm not putting it in a hex where it can get shot right now. I understand that it wants to stay out of fire, yes, but there's nothing that can fire at it. So I'm as well getting to a hex that I can at least make the complete movement to that next turn. Now, if I put them, yeah, I want that on top of that. Because, and remember, this is the mortar stuff as well, but, well, it was just advanced movement. That was the order. I really don't know if it's a mortar. I mean, if it got an attack order, then we'd consider it as a mortar, I suppose. But I don't know. So that's now marked finished as well, I think. Right, that's me fixed the mistake then. So now that infantry A is in the place of where the mortar was. The mortar's in this new place targeting here. These are both moving with advanced movement. They're not quite finished yet. And we don't have the one that had done the assault action. And I'm glad because that just didn't look right. But I hope somebody can maybe help out by commenting on that part in the video. But right, so that then comes away now and we've got the 5 hexes to there. for our last one, which is the ATR. Now, I was thinking, yeah, let's just push on. And again, no US units could react to that. They can't see it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's ATR. When I had read there that it wasn't allowed to do an assault action, is that a straight up, if I roll the dice here, in fact, well, does that mean I don't roll the dice? Because I can't carry out the assault action. However, I mean, you seen what that last assault attempt did. It's not in range to assault, and all it did was move to there. So, I'm not sure if... Well, I suppose... Let me look up the assault rule. Well, it's at the very back of the book, isn't it? Yeah, and it tells us here... Here. Because I just read this last night, I think, didn't I? Assault requirements, and we're looking at ATR, because that's what we've got this time. ATR intel markers can't perform assault movements. Yeah, I think you've got to just say, Grant, that they can't do this. And if we were rolling the dice here, and remember, it's medium activity level as well, it's not got anything, it's out of spotting range, and it's an intel marker, so we'd be rolling on that again. So 1 to 3 would be assault, 4 to 10 would be an advance, right? So it says it can't do assault movement. So there's assault. Right, and if I flip the chart, that's the advanced chart though. So we need the assault chart. So if, I'm just sort of thinking here, just to see if I do this, we select a target. Again, we've got that issue about there's no target that we can actually assault this turn. So does that mean we've not got a target? Which I think is quite possible, but I think it's also possible that we're still considering this as our target because it's closest. That if we moved up close to it, wouldn't be able to fire back. Yada yada yada. And so can it be reached in this activation? No. May attack with MFF? No. May be attacked with MFF? No. Can move to a hex or higher divisor closer to target or objective? Yes. Safe movement? Yes. Move to that hex. Advanced movement. So it's going to come through that chart and come to there with and it's going to be moving with advanced movement. It's not doing assault movement. And that's what it says. ATR intel markers can't perform assault movements. An assault movement is, it says, in fact, there it's there. Here's the definition or the meaning, the purpose of assault movement. The purpose of an assault movement is to move an AI force to the hex with the highest divisor value adjacent to a player-occupied hex to perform an assault. The following requirements must also be taken into consideration. Yeah. So this is to actually carry out the assault, I think. But then you might say, well, if it's got an assault order in it, I think you just got to ignore the assault order there, Grant. Because although we're not within range to do it, if we were, we wouldn't be looking at this. We wouldn't be considering assault. So is it not fair that you don't consider it? No, that's the wrong side. Sorry, this one again. Doesn't it just make more sense to just go and say we won't roll the dice here and we'll just carry out an advance? Because in actual fact, that's where that chart. I'm all over the place. That's where that's taken us to, really, isn't it? Well, in some ways it is, because, if you look at advanced movement, it wants to do a different thing. This was just to move to a hex, whereas advanced movement, the purpose of advanced movement is to reduce the distance between the AI force and the closest player force or the closest player controlled objective hex. Ooh, okay. Right, come on here. Hold on a minute here. Right, that needs more attention. Just reading that there just now is kind of freaking me out a bit. Let's bring this back in here. Although, hang on, you were following a flowchart for this, and I think that's what. Yeah, you've got an advanced flowchart. I'm just looking at this flowchart, and what I'm looking for is the words objective hex on it. And although, funnily enough, we found the word objective on the assault order flowchart, I cannot see the word objective at all on the advance and defensive movement flowchart. No, I'm not seeing that. So what's throwing me here is the words that I just read there in this, just now. 10.3 Advanced Movement. The purpose of the movement order is to reduce the distance between the AI force and the closest player force or the closest player-controlled objective hex. I mean, admittedly, well, that's not the closest player-controlled objective hex, but that one is. But, so, I think the thing is, though, that when we start following the K flowchart, which I'm looking at, oh, no, I'm not. The K chart's the orders. Yeah, sorry. K chart's the one that one, yeah. So when the K orders chart shows the word advance, an advanced movement order is issued. First check the advance and defensive movement order diagram L. This is this one here. So I don't think we have missed anything there. I think we've followed this chart, but there's no. I mean, even select a target here, which is usually what we end up with. We've got to find the target. There's no talk of objective hexes here. It just wants to move to the closest hex where the AI force may attack with MFF. I just feel like there's stuff missing there. You know, again, there's not. I mean, these objectives are objectives. You know, why aren't they being considered? In particular in this scenario, because the whole purpose of what the Germans have got to do is clear that road. Okay, that does involve taking some American units out, but they've also got to take the objective hexes, or they don't win. So that's strange. Yeah, and I think I was a bit worried there, but I think when I come and follow this chart, it then targets a player platoon rather than an objective hex anyway. So this purpose here is kind of, well, the second bit of it, or the closest player-controlled objective hex, doesn't really match up. Not for me. Anyway, let's ignore that then. So when we've got our target, after that, this is the target hex. When we've got our advance, if the order is confirmed, mark the AI force with advanced movement order marker. Additional advanced movement order. Right, so you've marked the unit with advanced movement order. After that, we determine the target hex, which is the closest hex where an AI force can attack. Blah, blah, blah. If several hexes are available, choose a hex with the highest divisor value first. After that, well, there you go. After that, choose an objective hex. So okay. I maybe should take some of that back then. So that is giving it that second priority in there. Right. I've totally lost where I was starting on this. Yeah, it was because the ATR, we don't think it can use the assault action. Yeah. I think every time we've checked this, though, if several hexes are available, and remember, we need to be, the target hex needs to be the closest hex from where we start, I'm guessing, where the AI force can attack with MFF. Then if there's more than one, it's going to choose the highest divisor value first. And then after that, choose an objective X. Yeah, the likelihood of us getting an objective X in the priorities is... It's not impossible because, I mean, to be honest, there is an... Well, that just says choose an objective X. It doesn't talk about a player-controlled objective X. So, yeah. Okay. Right, don't get bogged down, Grant. I'm going to say that we're not going to consider assault here. I was contemplating rolling a dice because the likelihood of me getting a 1 to 3, but knowing my luck, I'll probably roll a 1 to 3. I don't think we should be doing that because it does say that you cannot consider ATR as for assault movement. And although the assault chart is not going to take us to do any assault movement, I think you know what I'm saying. So, but anybody wants to comment, please do. Please just flood the page with comments if you know things or think you know things. Okay. So I'm going to say it was an assault then. Still tempted to roll the dice here, but no, I don't think we should be rolling the dice, Grant. Yeah, let's forget it because it can't do the assault. So why would it be given an assault? Well, hold on. It does say that sometimes they can go down flow charts and change things, can't they? I mean, in all honesty, that's what happened. I mean, I've had to rewind and fix that, but that's what happened with this one. Although it got an assault order, it ended up with a move to that hex order with advanced movement, didn't it? And that's more than likely what this ATR is going to do right now. The thing is, doing it that way, well, have I got that thought wrong then, after just looking at advanced movement there again? Have I got that thought wrong? And when that says, move to that hex, advanced movement, does that then kick in this whole procedure and then determine at the target hex that it can attack? Does that what happens? And that whole nonsense about me moving... Well, what was I following there? What was I following? Was it? It was the assault stuff, wasn't it? Oh, I can't. No. It was that box there. It was this box here that I was following. I was considering. Can move to hex or highest divisor closer to target or objective? Well, hang on, Grant. That's not really saying. That's just asking you a question. If the question is yes, well, yeah, but the question is yes, safe movement. Then you move to the hex it's talking about. So, Right, I'm not going to roll the dice. I'm just going to do it with advanced movement. I don't know. I need help. I need help, and I don't know. There's no point. There's no real point at the moment me going out there asking questions. If the designer showed up and started answering some of the stuff I'm asking or making some comments, then by all means I would revisit things and try and get them to explain to me. But I'm not going to keep typing out questions out there and not, they're just going, nobody's really got anything to say. Maybe some of you guys that are watching, just with your thoughts on it, but not that I don't want that as well, if you've got ideas about it, about how you think it should be done, but... Right, okay, we're just doing advance movement again, so that may attack without moving. No select a target. So again, it's the closest where it cannot be attacked, blah blah blah. It's just the same. Well, in fact, is it not this time going to be no, because he moved to there and with his target there, and then the mortar moved to here with his target there. No, we need to find. Well, could this not be the swamp now, the marsh? Well, these are 10 away, because I mean that's the way I'm basing it on. So these are 10 away, and these are got a divisor of 3, both of them. So I mean, although there's possible hexes, you know, here. Well, hold on, Grant. Yeah, see, you can go there. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. Well, no, there's something in there. So that's only 9 away. I can go there. That was that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 9 and that's 9. Was that 9? 7, 8, 9. That's 9 and that's 9. That's 10 and that's 10. And although these have got better defence, remember the priority is the closest hex. That's what it's saying. So these two are going to be better. But we can't. The reason we can do these down here is because he's finished. We can't consider being as close. Like I said, we can't consider this because he can fire on us with the MFF, whereas these two not. So between these two, I think that's where it's going to go. But the problem with them moving there is that it's then moving in front of all these units that are behind. Which is a little bit strange. Because if I'm moving Intel marker there, this is then not going to be able to fire. So I noticed somebody asked that question, can AI platoons fire through an Intel marker? And it was a designer, I think, that answered basically saying that unlikely you were ever going to get that situation. But I think he finalised that if you ever did get that situation, then no, you can't fire through an Intel marker because it's considered friendly troops. But I think he was suggesting that it's unlikely to ever get that because it's going to be identified. But I mean that Intel marker movement there just now, we can't identify it because this is finished. That's right, isn't it? No, hold on, Grant. Hold on. Does it matter if you're finished? Yeah, it does. It does. Because it says that if I identify it, I've got to react. And I can't do that because I'm finished. Yeah. But when this finish marker comes off, before we activate these next turn, I'm going to pretty much... Well, it's not going to be an automatic. But I'm probably going to identify this. And then it's going to be in front of all this. But, I don't know, does that matter? Yeah. Right, so I think these two being 9 away, so what is a priority beyond that then? I mean, these are both just open hexes, aren't they? Several hexes. Highest divisor, objective hex. Finally, choose a hex where the AI force may attack with the highest FF possible. I think they're both going to be the same as well. So my guess is it's just going to be a randomised between the two. I mean, should I consider... Are both of them feasible to get to? Well, my guess is we stop here. Yeah, they are, aren't they? Because this is going to be... Into this hex, it's just going to be 1, 2, 3 for the river and end there. And into this hex, it would be 1... and it wouldn't count count the river. Well, actually, no, we would count the river because we're having to cross it, aren't we? So it'd be 1 crossing the bocage. No, sorry, that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. Enter that hex. 1 crossing the bocage, 1 for the open terrain, and 2 because we're finishing in the river. That's 4. If we were going into there, it'd be 1. Well, it should just be 5, wouldn't it, Grant? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so both of them are reachable from there anyway. Yeah, and both of them can be fired upon as well. So if I move from there to there with that next turn, he'll be able to react. So he might not then end up doing that. Because that's the thing. Next time he activates, he's wanting to finish his movement across here. But by moving across there, that's going to be able to fire with MFF. Well, unless it's already done something. So I think these are the 2 targets, right? I'm going to go with that. This is a 1 to 3. This is a 4, 5, 6. I'm just going to roll that off camera and see what we get. Right, I've got a 2. So it's the one without the river. And they were both as close, weren't they? I'm just looking, that one's further on, isn't it? But they were to where we are coming from. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9 into there, 9 into there. So they are the same. So we've said here, so now I need another advanced movement. Is that right? And a target for that. So give me a sec. Alright, so our target is here. And this is here's our AITS A. It's going to be mechanized. And I'm going to put the advanced movement marker on it now. And then it's got a medium activity level, so it won't be getting another action. Right, and then it's going to move to its destination hex, which we think is going to be here, isn't it? Which it should be fine. It's going to be 5 hexes to here, which is 2.5 movement points. 3, 4. Is that right? 2.5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's just 7 movement points to get down to there. And then he's marked finished as well, because he's no chance of 2 actions. And again, no chance to react as well for the Americans. And that's that done. That's all the AI moved. That didn't take long, did it? Yes, indeed. Now we did have... Why did we have one? Why did we have one extra of them? I know I brought one more of them out because... We got 4 of them and 2 highs, and there was 6 intel markers. Just wonder why there was 6 motor mechanized. Or if I took one, did I take one away from the platoon and maybe brought it across here? Yeah, because I don't think we need that here. And maybe just when I took it off the one that got identified. Wait, where did they go? They put it on the back. Ah, right in there. Okay, so well, that's going to be the end of the turn, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Because that's the Germans moved all their stuff. And the Americans can't do anything. They were able to react at once with us. They attempted a reaction with us the very first time. It must have been when this one went to there. Must have been this one. Yeah. And it failed at identifying it, and then therefore failed to react. But any of the other ones that have came along, it's not got a line of sight on them, so it can't do anything. So I think that's okay. I think that's all right. Well, I'm saying I think that's all right. I've not got a clue really. is the best I can come up with. But to be honest, it's not really the best I can come up with. It's just what I'm thinking. I mean, it's no, I'm not happy how the rules are guiding me here, and like Micah says, he wants black and white, A and B, wants direction like that, and I feel like this game should have it. I think it's got the tools here to be able to do that, and it's just not quite doing it. Again, is it just because of the translation? Is it quite clear to a Spanish player? Maybe. It maybe is. And it's just not being translated in a way that us... Well, I was going to say dumb English, but... I'm a dumb Scotsman. Can understand it and take it on board and deal with it properly. But I don't know. I still feel like there's maybe some stuff left in there that's just letting you try and work it out for yourself, I feel, which is not what I want. It's not what I want. Or, I've been attempting to try and do that a bit. Again, I've still got unconditional surrender set up behind me. Whether I'm going to get back to it or not, I don't know. I feel a bit bad about not going back and try to finish it. But I actually know there's a long way to go in it, to be honest, and it's maybe not the most exciting scenario because I think it's all about supply and whatever. So it's not dragging me back there. I'm saying that the 2 games that I've got on Mother Table, they've not dragged me back, but just because when you start playing something else, you get into that and then you just, I don't know, it starts flowing. Although I wouldn't say it's flowing. It's not flowing in the way I'd like it anyway. But yeah, where was I going with that? It was just the fact that I have tried to start doing some stuff. I'm talking about playing Combat Commander. Okay, it's got a solitaire sort of AI system that somebody fan made, that's meant to be pretty solid, but it still tells you from the start. It's not going to tell you exactly what to do. It's not going to tell you exactly what unit to use. It's just going to tell you what order you're going to use. So that might be good enough to be able to say, well, clearly we're going to use that guy for the order, or it might be clearer. It's got good write-ups to it anyway. It seems to get thought of pretty highly. So, and I guess I'm just wanting something that's going to give me a bit fun. So, right, I'm at 52 minutes there. I'm going to cut that as a part, and I'm actually going to maybe think I could just shove this aside. And Combat Commander's not that big. I'm saying that. I think it's got other little charts, is it not? Has it not got some other, no charts, like tracks? I don't know, to be honest. Right, I'll work that one out myself anyway. And yeah, I still feel like I'll come back for another shot of this tonight though, but we'll see. Okay, cheers.